Hi folks, one for you this morning. This is the last of, well, I've got probably another couple of sheets left of the Saunders Waterford hot pressed paper, £90 weight, it's super paper. As you know, I bought this by mistake on my ordering, but it's been a real blessing, I have to say. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. And Monday, I had a day off yesterday. We decided to drive down to Folkestone, which is about an hour and a half on a traffic-free day, which it was. Got to Folkestone in about an hour and a half, and it was beautiful. Hardly anybody there. Mind you, I would imagine it was quite busy over the weekend because people were sort of stealing a day on the lockdown easing. But it was a lovely, fabulous day. We used to go to Folkestone a lot. We used to camp there in the Warren with our trailers, various camping trailers, over many years, and we had this great love of around the harbour and the old town. And they've got a cooperative fish merchant there, or retailer, and the fish is just superb, freshly caught, most of it, and we bought a couple of big skate wings, so we resisted the fish and chips down there. We drove back, got back home about 2 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock we were scoffing this. We had to cut it, it was too big to go in on a plate, so we made pigs of ourselves, but it was as fresh. I've never had skate as fresh. Right, let's just put a sky in for a bit. I'm using my main palette. I'm going to mix a bit of, well, I'll put some raw sienna on first. Let's get that all nicely dissolved. So we were back in about a bit of light red in about the same time. A bit heavier coming back in traffic, but nothing really. I don't suppose there's many ferries going to and from the channel at the moment. Well, with France and Belgium, so there's not a lot of sort of travelling traffic, you know what I mean, if you're getting on the boats. But it was lovely. Sunday, well, Monday was the first day. Oh, that was yesterday, wasn't it? Is it Monday? Oh, every day's the same, isn't it? It's the 2nd of June, so Monday the 1st. Yeah, Monday the 1st. So Sunday we jumped the gun. Well, we jumped it 3 weeks ago, really. With my son, who lives nearby, with my grandson and his wife, we get together for occasional Sundays. Social distancing, of course. Well, let's put a bit of blue and a bit of Payne's grey. So I'm just trying to emulate the indigo. Don't suppose it will, but the indigo is quite a cool. Not bad. You can dry brush on this as the painting starts to dry, paper starts to dry. You find that it does raise the surface a little bit, but it's a beautiful, things you can do with it. Let's get a bit of a different sky there, bit of red in that, bit of light red that is. So mix those three colours. Just get rid of that bit there. So being right-handed, all my brush strokes are from right to left. A bit of water there, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to give that a dry. I'm not going to go into it wet in wet now. I just want the wet in wet sky. Now I'm going to sort of fix it. So headphones off, ready, go. Okay, I think that'll be enough. I can see the lovely effect you get with this sort of paper. Oh, it's only £90 weight, but my word, it does great things. I'll just turn my computer off. Don't want to tell you the password. Okay, now I'll start to put in some trees. I'll put a background in. I'm thinking of Aylesford, well, the River Colne, there between Aylesford and Wivenhoe, but it's just a memory. I'm not doing anything from a photograph or anything. So we're just let's have a slight bluey green, which will be more accurate. So we just put this gentle and down to nothing there, to the sea. I never tire of doing these, just as well. It's all part of the repertoire. So I'll do a couple of these. I want to do one for Patreon after this. So that's probably as near as I'm going to get to a sort of a grey indigo colour. I'll put some trees in there. Okay, I'll let that go, leave that for a minute. I'll work out some foreground now with some bushy stuff. I've got to put the sea in. I might do that right, so I don't know. But the creek is coming, or the channel is coming along here. But I could do it at high water. I think maybe that would be a good idea to do that. Because I keep doing the channel, but I want to, let's do this. Let's just get some reflection in the still water. I'm going to soften all this. Bit of dry brush now. Just those two colours. Quite weak. Quite tricky. See, you hear it. It's got you can hear the tooth touching the brush. Okay, that'll do. I'll put a bit of muddy stuff up the top there. Bit of sienna and a bit of umber, I think. Because there would be a beach, a sort of a muddy beach. Okay. Probably a little bit dark, but I'm going to just. Still only cauliflowers there. Although it's hard to get a cauliflower, you know what I mean, cauliflower and oasis where the paint sort of drops and then you get that horrible line. You get that with the Fabriano 130, the studio paper, quite a lot if you're not careful, because the water or the wet paint stays on the surface and doesn't soak in. But with this paper, it's porous, and the rough, and the paint goes straight into the wet paper, and you get this diffusing effect. It's not a trick, it's just what it does. Right, I'll just try that. I want to just extend that a bit there as well, so let's go back to that bumper. Go across here. I'll put some more of that in, I think. Let's go a bit darker with it. Get more of a bank there. Right, we might better put some boat stranded on there later on. Well, I think a bit of sea now. But quite light. I don't. Well, light. I've got to go lighter or darker than that background. So I'll go for dark. Bit of blue. I'll put a boat on there. So I'll bring that beach over out there a little bit. Okay, I might strengthen that headland a little bit, and we will go in. I'll do a foreground while it's drying, and then I'll go back and I'll start to texture some of this here. I've used a smaller hake for that, I think. Rightio. Nice. Let's just get we'll have a beach there. Start with that burnt umber, sort of muddy colour, mixing in with that grey there, and we'll put a bit of sienna, just line it a bit. Put some dark on there, some shadowy bits in between the salt marsh. Okay, let's get a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of that burnt umber and pull out the loose hairs. Should have made more of the water at the bottom here, because it would have been a good idea to have reflected the light in the sky in between the muddy grassy bits here. So a bit of green, let's get a good green mix, which will be Payne's grey and cad yellow. Quite a heavy mix. That'll be our sandfire foreground. Picked a lot of this stuff here. We've never got around to eating it. We've never had anything to eat it with. So it goes with fish and this sandfire. Sandfire. Right, now we can put in a bit of bushy stuff here and there, some clumpy stuff for this. Just use that Payne's grey more with the green. It's a bit too wet. But I want the darks to sort of anchor the foreground. I like that. But that's what I'm going to try somewhere else here. Okay. Right, I'm going to go back to that background now. Right, now, just a darker mix of that blue and Payne's grey, because it's distant, but I might put a bit of green in that, I think I will, just to get a distant green. Yes, it's hard to get the paint out of it, out of the brush on the surface, because it's rougher than it looks. Amazing stuff. Just an indication. Don't want any portraits. I just want an impression of detail. Now this is where we've got to be a bit careful. There's a little bit of darker stuff coming around that headland there. Look at that, amazing. If this was a Fabriano, it would be flying off the brush. Good up there. Put dark here, or there. I can put in some boat masts. Just some distant fields, trees. Okay, that'll do. But I'm going to have to order some more paper. I've run out of the rough. I think I've got one sheet of rough left, and that's it. 2 sheets of this. Okay, that'll do for that. That's a bit heavy now. It'll dry lighter. I'm going to dry it anyway because I want to put some background in, and there's some bit of stuff in the bottom here. Okay, clean that bit out there, I think. A bit of tissue. Okay, let's just take a little bit of that out. bit heavy-handed there. I'll put it back now. I'll leave that for make it worse. Right, so stuff in the foreground. So we'll have. Now I know there are all some blackberries and stuff along here. So let's put them in, or a version of them. This paint's grey and green. A bit darker than that. Like a dike to protect the hinterland behind it, because it's all marshy. And in fact, the council gave permission for houses to be built on the floodplain going up towards Colchester, between Rivenow and Colchester. So they'll get a big bad storm. There are barriers, like a smaller version of the Thames barrier. But the river used to be navigable up to Colchester, all the way along the Col. Now I've only done an impression of it, but it's been left to silt up. And at high tide you can go up quite a way, but you can't get right up. I think you can get right into the town. Let's just see a bit of umber along there. Just a little bit of texture along here. Okay, now I want to get my rig. I don't think my 3/4 brush works really well. It's probably because I've used it for oil. I want just to get some masks and just some things. A bit of gouache. Go. You don't get a fine edge. Just, I sort of might in the way. Just some boats here and there. Just some stuck on the hard, well, on the beach. So I put some here. A little bit of okay, that'll do for that. Right, okay. I'm tempted to muck about with that. I might just put a little bit of a bush just going up here, because otherwise there's nothing to sort of hold your interest in the foreground really. So we'll just get that brush there, get the Payne's grey, and the Caggiolo. It's just pretty. Alright, that'll anchor, and I'll just put in a little bit of spiky stuff. Same colour. What if that's scrape? I probably would if I find the card. Well, that'll do. Let's put a signature on it and put it in a mount. I don't know where to put a signature. Always put it on the left, well you can put it on the left. Put it here. Do. Put it in a mount and we'll have a look at it. Right. Put that mount on it, I think. The dirty mount. Okay, well there we are. So we've got another quite a simple painting. The difficult thing was this, I've made a bit of a mess of that. But anyway, let's just drop that down a little bit. It's another one of Essex coast. Sadly my brother-in-law died a couple of years ago, so we don't have those lovely weekend visits that we used to have. But we still have family, or my wife's family, around Brightlingsea and thereabouts, spread out between Romford and Wivenhoe and Brightlingsea. So we're very familiar with that part of Essex, having been travelling there, visiting for many years, and it's beautiful. I've never been over to there. This is Row Hedge, I think they call that. It's only an impression. It's not. All the Aylesford quarries were along here, and you do get big boats going up as far as the quarry for loading, like freighters, coasters. I don't know. So that is quite deep at high water, navigable up to the barrier, the Wivenhoe barrier. But anyway, it's just my little impression of it for a Tuesday morning. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye bye.